All right, let's make sure we on. Yeah, we clocked in. Hope you guys would be able to hear me. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good time. Well, it's good to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And what I mean by that simply, oh my God, why is this thing stuck over here? Hold up, guys. There you go. So, and being emotionally and mentally balanced, the whole idea is for you to have to become more conscious of who you are. Obviously, if you're conscious of both sides, then your consciousness becomes greater. Mhm. You can see the bigger picture, and as most of us, in fact, when you say, let's just say, when somebody says to somebody else, you're just emotional. What you're also saying is that like your emotions is not balanced with your intellect. So therefore, you're being too emotional here. You're not balanced. So I'm saying all of that to say, then we understand that your emotions may impact the way you think, obviously. And that's what you say why somebody you being emotional. So therefore, for you to have a greater picture, your emotions and your intellect has to come together. You know what I'm saying? That's when you truly get to see a motherfucker. Nah, not today. So I was saying all of that to say, ultimately, the whole goal as a spiritual healer is to, enhance your consciousness. That's pretty much what that is. So now, when we're talking about being emotionally balanced, meaning, simply means you master your emotions, and to master anything, you make it part of you. That's what master is. I mean, it's you now. You've mastered how to brush your teeth. It's part of your regular life. You could do it however you like. You know what I'm saying? In the tub, you know what I'm saying? Whatever position you're in there, nigga, you good. You got your toothpaste, you got your brush, nigga, you good. You mastered that. That's simply what mastering is. You made it part of your regular life and you know how to do it. You could feel like there's some and remove that. Bam. Okay, maybe I need to floss that. Yeah, all that. But it requires for you to understand, okay, when we're dealing with your emotions. So it's important for you to understand, first of all, what the fuck are emotions? Then you would have to understand what are energies. Because, it's you're dealing with energy. Then you understand now if that's what you're dealing with, then you have to understand your emotional patterns. And at this point, or at that point, if there's any blockages, if it's blocking a certain way, then you can remove shit. So for you to master your emotions, you have to understand how your emotions are being created. You have to understand your emotional patterns, or you create them. Ultimately you become the master of it. Meaning, you know, no one is triggering you. I know how to trigger my own self when you know what I'm saying, but you're not going to trigger me because I have insecurity. So you have no insecurities because you're dealing with all of your emotions. You have mastered them. You know how they work. You understand it. You made it part of your life. Because ultimately, when people go see a shrink, anything you do not acknowledge about yourself, that's what kills you. That's why if you're toxic, you not okay. Then let me rephrase it. I mean, that was a little strong. When you're toxic, you don't know that you're toxic until you're no longer toxic, meaning you get to see things better. By you getting to see things better, you have to acknowledge what you didn't acknowledge before. That's why in the wise always say the beginning of knowledge is when you know that you don't know. That right there, listen, that's what these niggas are talking about. And that's what you're dealing to, without me getting too much ahead of myself here when I'm going to be talking about the occult, because that type of knowledge isn't what is called an esoteric from the sacred text. That's giving you a deeper understanding about who you are. I'll talk on that when I'm going to talk about spirituality. Anyway, dealing with your emotions. That's what it implies. And that's what I talk about. That's what I help you to understand. Now, in addition to that, I also help you to become mentally balanced. The same baseline exists also there too. Then now you got to understand how your mind works. How are you being conditioned to look at life? That's why your regular life is your spiritual battlefield. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even space and time, like I always use this example. My son is 5. He's into Spider-Man. His reality of Spider-Man and my reality of Spider-Man, we're standing right next to each other, are totally different. Totally different. I'm saying all of that to say, when we're talking about being mentally balanced, so you have to understand not only how your mind works, how are you being trained to think, but you also got to have the ability to keep changing as well. But that would be more on the topic that we'll be talking about. But I figured, I'll just throw that in there real quick. That's why you have to understand your culture, because you got to ask yourself, how is your culture is shaping your life? Anything that is mastering your life without, and it's not you, then you have no control over your mind. How can you be self-aware? It doesn't make sense. That's why you'll see in the occult, we always say, I'll give you a perfect example. This is the path of not of the many. The many would be in society, you being trained to think or even to live your life based on who you should be. You living your life based on the fucking image, but never about who you are. And later on, I'm gonna use that same example too, because the same shit could be said about spirituality. And because you don't look at yourself as who you are, then even when I talk to you about spirituality or even being a spiritual healer, you're like, what? Like, okay, this nigga, man, like, this nigga's fool. This nigga already ate. He done had some pussy. Then that nigga, now this nigga's talking about spirituality. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas spirituality is truly your first base. Like, this is the air that you breathe, nigga. This is you being alive. This is you learning how to walk. This is you being everything that you are. Even your small conscious of what the world is. Spirituality embodies it all. But anyway, going back to dealing with you being for you to become mentally balanced, you got to be more aware of what's taking place around you. You can't have a one side perspective. You got to have a holistic perspective of things, meaning you got to look at the bigger picture. And just like I always tell people, if you're a Democrat, right, then you mean, I mean, you automatically become one sided. And the reason why you become one sided, and if you become one sided, you cannot have a holistic perspective because you already one sided. So you're gonna have the best one sided perspective about everything. Meanwhile, if you choose to embrace both, because Democrat have some great points, Republican has some great points. So for you to benefit from, yeah, like even from a logical perspective. And that's what Jesus was talking about too, man. If you can't understand the shit that's in front of you, man, come on, yeah, I definitely get it. You niggas don't even get the shit that's fucking in front of you. You having a one-sided perspective, the other one is having a one-sided perspective. And then now you're gonna tell me I need to be involved. In what? Which side? Come on. The fuck? Like you already have a limited perspective. The minute you become one sided, you have a one sided view. That's the way it goes. Either or. But if you see the benefit in being a Democrat, you also see the benefit in being a Republican. Now you become neither or. You become both and also neither or. Then your perspective, you're going to have a greater perspective. Then come tell me to vote. Yo, listen, when you do that alone, you already got my vote, nigga. When you do that, you already got my vote right there. So you don't benefit. You see what I'm saying? So the illusion is in the separation of shit, and part of the European spirituality, because you got to understand, now you're dealing with the way they look at life, their mentality. When you talk about a language, every language is a mentality. That's why every culture you got to understand the culture, not just the language, the culture. Like for me, as a Haitian nigga living in America, I had to understand the culture, not just being able to speak the language. That's part of it, but the culture. Meaning, I gotta understand who I'm talking to. If we're gonna have a conversation, shit. Sometimes I keep it too real, nigga. Then you go what is called the culture shock. That simply means, this is you cracking the codes. This is your transition. You didn't really understand what was taking place. Now you having a greater perspective. Anybody that talks about the culture shock, what they're truly saying is, I get to see it better. But that's how they choose to call it. Fine. You're not gonna fool me, nigga. I get it. The culture shock is just you got to see it better. And you can only mention the culture shock after you got to see it better. The name of the game is consciousness, baby. And that's also where your knowledge and as part of you understanding how your mind works, logic, you gotta treat logic is not everything. It's limited in itself. It's reasoning. That's why you also got to use your emotions too. Because if you're only using logic, then you become rigid. A plus, yeah, nah, and bam, bam, bam. That's what it is. Nah, nigga. There's other factors in life. There's life itself. Life itself, that's the feminine energy. Life itself is emotional. Those are going to be the emotions you're going to deal with. You have the logic and then you have the emotions. They got to come together. But anyway, enough of that. If you're coming back, you already know what it is. Obviously, welcome back, niggas. You know exactly what this is, man. It's always breaking bread. We're always giving sights to the blind. Let them know what you see on this side. Now, I always love you guys too, man. And this is a holy communion. We always break bread, baby. Now, as part of my routine, if this is your first time, I always take the time and talk about spirituality because to me, spirituality, I guess somehow, as I was talking about before, as you can see without being too repetitive, I guess I'm not sure if I made some of those points, but it's spirituality is just your life. It embodies everything. It's the political arena, it's the sports, it's whatever the fuck. It embodies everything because ultimately what spirituality is doing is sharing, giving you a manual or it's the narrative about yourself. It's the story of your life. And your life as you know it and your life as you need to delve a little more into. Meaning now that's where you have something called the occult that comes out of the those would be sacred text or an esoteric meaning or understanding. What that is dealing with is a type of knowledge where it transcends the surface. And I'm being dramatic. All that shit is, it gives you a deeper understanding of your life. Some of the basic occultic shit, depending on if you pick up an occultist book, tell you is that you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. Most of us got to know this shit by now. Okay, so just in case if you're not truly paying attention to it, what this is saying is there's a part of you that's visible, there's another part of you, man, that's not visible. You know what I'm saying? Both sides exist. Now, the occult is dealing with the aspect of you. That's what they say out of the darkness comes the light. The understanding, they're dealing more on that darker side of you, which is not dark in the sense of evil, but which is not seen. That's why the esoteric meaning, you see the Gnostic talks about it's knowing. You got to go in, and that's what the occult is dealing with. Meaning, it's giving you a deeper understanding, helping you to see beyond the veil. Again, this is talking about your regular life. In other words, the occult is giving you an understanding of your ordinary life on a whole different level. If you see the movie, uh, what is it, Jupiter Ascend or Descend? I can't recall. She was a queen, whatever, in that other world. Then when she came back on Earth at the end of the movie, I guess they were doing cleaning and shit. She was proud. She was doing it differently because now she was happy of who she is in the inside. That's what the movie was talking about. Now she knows who she is in the inside. She was able to clean up the bathroom with pride, nigga. Like I didn't have to prove myself to anybody. I proved myself to myself. I'm happy with me. Well, nigga, I'ma clean the bathroom like with showing my pride, nigga. You know what I'm saying? When you become that way, you're living life dangerously. But that's a different conversation. That's coming up too. We're living dangerously. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now you're not dealing with the security. Because what a lot of people call security is suppressing who they are. And ironically, that is not secure at all. It's not secure at all. And even that's what the motivational speakers are telling you too. Look at even the motherfucker who follows his dream versus the motherfucker who doesn't follow his dream. It's not the same life. It's not the same life. And even if you don't become a celebrity, even if you're not a star or whatever the fuck, but the person you become as you following yourself, oh my God, the growth in it alone, the oh my God, it's love, it's godly. You truly get to experience change for what it is. And also, well, which is going to be a big part of our conversation, you fight for change. Accept what is. But anyway, let me go back to spirituality real quick because it's all linked. Again, change has this bad perspective because, there's a limited perspective of what change or death is. I mean, how do you become a man and talk like a boy? It doesn't make sense, right? As a child, I speak as a child. Well, as a man, I'm gonna speak like a man, right? Well, it takes change, motherfucker. How is change a bad thing? But most importantly, maybe change is not the way we look at it. It's not a hard stop. Even the way we look at death. Well, that's why people are crying. You took such and such away from me. Now, if we're dealing with energy, your reality alone should change. My reality changed. That's why the words got to be made flesh. When I know I'm dealing with energy, for instance, I'm also a medium. I could talk to the people who transitioned. So death is not a hard stop for me at all. Like that's how I know for me personally, I'm not afraid of death. And like they say, oh, death was your victory because I got to learn more about who I am, my true nature. Change is not a hard stop. Death is not a hard stop. Energy always changes. It's a transition from one state to another. That's why we are eternal. Yeah, we take different forms. We just energy. That's our true essence. That's why in the occult we say, know who you are. It will set you free. The way for you to get over matter is when it don't matter, not when you suppress matter. You have to embrace matter. Then when you embrace matter, even as the Kabbalion calls it, material science is telling you matter is not even matter. It's energy that is pretty much condensed energy. So what this is telling you, and that's the true essence of the world that we're living in. That's what people should take into account as they're living, because that's the world that you're living in. The Mayans calls it a fucking illusion, meaning if material science is telling you this is condensed energy, do you see energy? Now you see the matter itself. That's what the illusion is. It's not what it appears to be. That's what they're telling you. This is the world that you're living in. That's what Maya is. And that's why you could do magic too, nigga. That's why you are the creator. Maya is just not just the fucking illusion. Maya is also dealing with that process, one state to another. That's how do you think you're able to manifest? Have it in your mind and have it coming into reality. You see, again, you say reality because you say in your mind it's not also a reality as well. See, that's what you got to be aware of. That's why both sides they go hand in hand. So now, when we talk about Maya, the illusion, it's also dealing with that transition. But also, that's why we say Maya is not the issue. That's why every true spiritual masters we understand that. That's why we're never concerned with fucking Earth, nigga. There's no way I'm not concerned with. Come on, man. I know the truth. That's why I understand the star that I am where I'm not here. It's shining over here. That's why it doesn't matter. I'm that star everywhere. And when you know who you are, man, you are who you are, and you're gonna be that everywhere you go. But anyway, I'm being dramatic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in tune with my feelings. Anyway, going back real quick to the whole, what the fuck were we talking about? I haven't even the whole change shit. There's this bad perspective of change, and that's not the truth at all. That's why we say in life, you don't want to be comfortable. What the fuck does that mean? You got to keep changing. So how is change a motherfucking bad thing? How did change even became a bad thing? Oh, I guess if it's good to us, it's not good to God. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're saying. I know he's the almighty one. I'm not against him. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is when you understand change, you also understand him too. Because it's eternal. In one of my recordings, I talked about fucking immortality. Your conception of immortality, it's just it doesn't change. There's no change in it. Well, that's what makes it fucked up. It makes it one-sided. It also show that you don't understand what's taking place when change is taking place. That's why we know death is just a transition from one form of life to another. That's why in this life, for you to become the Christ, that's why I always fuck with the, where the fuck my skulls at, man? They're around. That's why I fuck with the skulls a lot. I walk with death. Hell yeah. Come on, man. That's when Doja, yeah, I'm a little bit late. I just found out her video the other day. I was listening to music. I'm like, yo, I fuck with this shit. Then I've seen the fucking video for the first. I'm like, oh, that's how you embrace the skull, your death, your transformation, which is your confidence, your essence, your being, man, your divinity, your essence. You are a living mind, as the Kabbalion calls it, spirit, a living mind. And that's what spirituality is talking about, one way or another, or every religion, whatever the fuck. But anyway, going back to change. How did change get the bad rap, man? This is crazy. Now accepting what is. Now, depending on your level of consciousness, these may sound like opposites, but that's also the beauty of it too. If you study the Kabbalion, and I recommend everybody to, because that's your manual. The Kabbalion is straight up dealing with your essence. A lot of people get stuck into those seven hermetic principles, but behind all of it is self mastery. That's what the idea is. It goes beyond those. I mean, those are some of the traits that he's able to capitalize on for you to understand about you. But once you put all of it together, Nick, and every law is a reflection of self mastery. When he talks about the law of gender, which is everything, there's a masculine and masculinity, and there's a femininity. The idea is for them to come together, but most importantly, for you to understand it and becoming more whole is expanding your consciousness about, again, giving you a deeper understanding of who you are. When we say men lives, I mean, not lives more. How the fuck do they say this shit? Not just for bread and wine. Because we understand, yo, I go to work every day. I need a little bit of entertainment too, right? Everything in life is needed. That's what the experience is. You are embodying all of it. I mean, if you're gonna experience it, why not fucking experience the best of it, which is love, nigga? Just saying. Just saying the same. I'm just saying the same, nigga. We're not having the best experience. Again, accepting now, for a lot of people, like you're talking about fighting for change and acceptance, so, and then I also mentioned about the Kabbalion, because they talk about opposite come together. In this illusion or separation, that's what the separation does. Separation is like, I'm not part of the universe. I'm my physical body. Spirituality is over there. That's the misconception. That's the ignorant. That's the ignorance, because you don't know your true essence. You don't know there's more to you. If there's more to you, who the fuck is you walking by a beach, bro? Enjoy nature. This is all part of me. The connection with the universe. It's all needed, bro. That's why motherfuckers meditate. You need all that shit. A little bit of gossip too, nigga. Shit. Remy Ma, what up, baby? Who else? Steve Hall, Marjorie. Shout out to Marjorie though, like my cousin. Not that other bitch. I love you, baby. So yeah, man, you need all of it. All of it is needed. But now when it comes to that though, shit, there's a whole lot of that than other part of it. That's what the problem it become is one sided. A lot of you niggas are one sided. So that's where you struggle with your true self. And obviously, the true self, which is the holistic, you being in the Father and the Father being in you. And the Christ consciousness at that point is that level of understanding, becoming the enlightened one, the shining one, the bright ones, waking up. You know how bright you are when you wake up? I'm saying, like I tell them, you know what I'm saying, when I'm dealing with my kids, right? I just tell them, yeah, hey, let them know, please tell God, you know what I'm saying, he could go to sleep. I'm up now. That's what I tell them to say to God. Tell God I'm up. I mean, some of you say, oh, this nigga's not humble, huh? Oh, man. Even your conception of humble is fucked up too. Because you think you got to trash yourself to be politically correct, and it's acceptable. Like you got to eat trash, and it's fucking acceptable. I don't know, King. Can't do it, dog. I can't do it. I'm saying maybe there's another way, man. I think there's another way, bro. There's another way. Because humble has nothing to do with you thinking you're superior than or less than somebody else. When you humble, is that you know who the fuck you are. I don't put my accomplishment above you. Meaning, as a spiritual healer, I don't think I'm better than you. That's the whole Jesus saying, you motherfuckers, when you come in, are you gonna do a lot more than me? And yeah, when you get to know who you are. So this nigga's telling you, nigga, yo, that's what humble is. It had nothing to do with me not knowing. Let's just say, like for God to love me, I gotta be trash. I gotta be undeserving. But yet his love is the greatest love. Let's slow down for a second. This nigga got the greatest love forever. And I gotta be undeserving for the greatest love for me to get it? I don't know, man. That sounds fishy to me, bro. Sounds fishy to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, in other words, oh shit. So, for you to appreciate his love, you got to see yourself as being nothing. I don't know, man. I don't know. And the love that I'm living, that's why this knowledge is for the living too. If you're living a love life, then you understand, man. Listen, man. It's uh, no, sir. How do you appreciate somebody else's act? I don't have to put myself down. In fact, the more I appreciate myself, that's why I appreciate you. That's why we talk about self love, which is dealing with your divine qualities. See, there's a difference between selfish. When a motherfucker's selfish, this motherfucker's dealing not with his inner qualities. He's dealing with like benefit, like external benefit. And because he's dealing with external benefit, guess what? Feelings don't matter. Don't matter who's stepping. Yeah, listen, man. Isn't that the world that we're shaping in? That's why greed is fucking accepted. That's what Dave Chappelle was trying to tell niggas. Yeah, I understand it's a contract, nigga. Right is right, wrong is wrong. That's what the nigga was trying to say, man. Like, it's more like, nigga, yeah, I did sign a contract, nigga. Like, but then, nigga, is it fair though? That fairness, that's what the emotions does. That's where the feminine energy, you have to balance with it. One of my Jesus best fucking example is always because I remember, man, I was so eager to find out what the fuck he was gonna say, right? Even myself, when I was reading that shit, because even then I was traveling and I didn't understand it. But anyway, that was just a fucking internal affair and shit. I didn't even know I was traveling. I was traveling, dog. So now, check this out. There was some bitch, whatever the fuck, trying to use their language, what was adultery, meaning she was married, she got caught sleeping with another man. Then, according to the Jews, right, I think, the rules say you got to stone that bitch to death. And the dilemma was then you'll have to remain Catholic or whatever, like this guy's was the European, the whole Rome shit. What the fuck this shit was? It was you don't stone people to death. So as a Jew, then they were asking Jesus. I'm just giving you a little bit of background because that's like I was traveling, meaning I was paying attention to what I was reading as I was reading it because there's a whole lot that's being said, meaning they wanted to test him. I'm like, oh shit, I got the Bible in my hand, nigga. I'm like, shit, that's another episode of Prime, nigga. And then the nigga was doing some shit on the ground, whatever the fuck. Nobody knows what the fuck he was doing. Then the nigga stood up, whatever. I mean, I'm being a little bit dramatic too, but and then essentially he said, whichever one of you was without a sin, you throw the first stone. What he was doing there, this is why this is one of my favorite shit. He had a greater perspective because he combined the heart with the thinking. This is a dope shit. Like that's always my two. I always love that. I'm like Jesus, nigga, you a shining dog. You know what I'm saying? And even by if you reading this shit for the first time, and I strongly yeah, whatever the fuck, you probably read it. It gives you a broader perspective automatically. But you didn't know what it took for him. When you look at that, but you didn't know what was taking place. It was the emotion and the intellect that came together, nigga. It always give you a broader perspective, a bigger sight. And that's what Jesus was doing. That's how I know he was giving sight to the blind. That's how I know I'm giving sight to the blind. Again, we don't talk Jesus, we walk Jesus, right? So that means you gotta be him. Anything you do in life, you gotta be that. If you're not that, you're not doing it. Because it's you doing it. Nigga, it's you doing it. If you're not that, that's why talking about anything will never mean anything, will never amount to anything. But doing something, now we talking. That's why your perception of Christ cannot be a fucking historical man. Even if it is an historical man, with quantum physics, i.e., as the motherfucking Kabbalion calls it, material science is telling you, in other words, like, if you understand we are more than what we appear to be, so Jesus, even if it was a fucking historical Jesus, cannot be just the fucking historical Jesus. So meaning you're not even looking at Jesus from a whole perspective. You're looking at Jesus from sideways, nigga. You can't even see what in front of you. Come on, you're not even looking at what is you can't see what you don't even see what the fuck is in front of you. But anyway, going back to change. So now I want to make sure that we have a solid understanding about change, right? And of course, we're gonna listen. opposites going to meet. That's your essence. That's why you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Because death, there's no stop to it. Fuck with your skull, there's no stop to it. We energy, so we just transform. And especially for me, being a medium who talk to people on the other side, nigga, you can't tell me shit. Yeah, I don't, and I'm living a different reality too. So therefore, I don't know what you're gonna tell me. Yeah, bring it on, nigga. You tell me whatever you like, whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? It's music to my ears, man. You know what I'm saying? I dance to my own drum. You got to. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way for you to have a proper dance anyway. You know what I'm saying? And when you dance to your drum too, man, and ooh, I'm gonna slow down on that one. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But anyway, accepting what is, unfortunately, to a lot of people who don't understand like acceptance, how powerful that shit is. The connotation of it, they always look at it as, you lazy. That could be part of it. This is just for some people who do not want to change. You know, that could be part of it. I mean, those are essential, those are good points, but don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? Or a motherfucker who's lazy, which is good. Like some of these niggas don't want to change. Or let's just say, man, you have motherfuckers who don't want to grow too. Well, changing and growth goes hand in hand. I was gonna say growth, but I mean shit. Growth and change goes hand in hand. So acceptance now, because that's what we're talking about too. When you look at it from that perspective, you may have a certain resistance when it comes to acceptance. That's why some people look at acceptance as being weak, but that's not a holistic perspective, though. I'm telling you, that's how opposite meets. In the title itself, you could, if you're trying to be logical, yeah, but it's more than logic, though. It's a lot more than logic. Like there was a lady who was asking the question. She took her time. She sounded so, let's just say, elegant, right? You know how certain people, when they speak, they choose very choosy when it comes to their word, and what I'm saying, good English. Uh, For me, when I watch that shit, I'm like, oh shit, that's some good English, baby. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you do. You know what I mean? Her question was obviously when it was one of the podcasts. I'm not gonna name no names. We ain't here for all that. But anyway, and she was saying, I can't understand how a man could cheat in society and it's acceptable, and then a woman cheat. Like she's using logic, and when you don't know, like that's probably in her mind one of the. It's not fair. She's using logic, but her logic lacks, there's no logic in her logics. Why? Because men and women are not identical. You peach to stand up. I mean, you sit down to pee. I stand up and pee. We're not identical. You grind on your fucking girlfriend, ain't no nigga who's not gay. I mean, okay, riddle me this. Let's be fair. Let's be logical, nigga. Since logic is everything to you, right? Well, let's be logical. Logically, why can you dance on your girl, shaking your ass on your girl as much as you like, you not looking as being gay, and then, well, shit. I mean, I'm wilding. Fuck it, hey, shit. And then let's just say a guy can't, if a guy were to do the same exact shit, how would you feel? Is that logical? I don't know. Your logic is not logic, dog. Your logic needs more logic. Obviously, you're not gonna see that. And no, for men, it's not the same. So your fucking comparison between men and women, why is it fair niggas kill that shit? That's because you don't even understand your nature then. So you mean to tell me as a bitch, you can't see, or if two men are dancing, you're not gonna feel like they're gay? Do you need a class for that? I guess since it's all good. It's all God. I mean, maybe we need a podcast. You need a podcast for that? Hey, it all got talked about. And listen, I'm not downplaying nothing. Knowledge is knowledge, regardless of where it comes from. But the quality of the knowledge makes a difference. It's not how much you know; it's how are you looking at it. Don't look at it sideways, baby, because that's truly what it comes down to. The baseline of how you're looking at it, and that makes a world of differences. If you're looking at life as duality, good and bad, well, you're always in a war. But if you're looking at life as the good could be bad, like you're embracing the bad, well, guess what? The challenge is not even a challenge. You need that. And the crazy shit is, I'm trying to show you this is a perspective, but the reality that you're living, that's why Brucey tells you, nigga, yo, be like water. That's why our ancestors, we understood nature, we praised nature, we love nature. Nature is me, nature is you. The whole metaphysics shit is just showing you nature in your life. Metaphysic is testifying that nature is you. You rip what you sow in nature, guess what? In your life is the same shit. The same principles applies. The understanding of nature, the wisdom that's hidden in nature, it's not it goes deeper, dog. That's you talking to a plant. I talk to plants. And that's what the psychic ability is too. That's you tapping into those fucking energies. Oh, that's a big part of consciousness too, dog. Because as you becoming more conscious, you tapping more into that world too. Your connection with the fucking ancestors. All of that shit is taking place. Oh, I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? Some people thought I wasn't though. They didn't know. Hey, listen, man, what you don't know is gonna cost you, baby. That's how it's always be. And I mean, shit. That's why you gotta embrace what you don't know. The first step to knowledge It's to know that you don't know. Because the worst motherfucker is the motherfucker that think he knows. Oh, those are the worst. The whole religion war, all these niggas, man. It's niggas that think they know, man. Nigga, I was watching. Shit, let's gossip for a second, nigga. I was watching this religion lady. Oh, I do. And she said, according to the Bible, and she was talking about voodoo, hoodoo, and according to the Bible, she was saying, what does the Bible say about these things? All of her references came out of the Bible. Look at life, man. You see, that's what mind control is. This one book is everything? Come on, man. But you gotta get out of the box, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything she said was true. I'm like, according to that Bible. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things I'm not even gonna talk about. I mean, there's tons of research out there that talks about the Bible. What is it, the Nicaea you know what I mean? That's a bunch of shit, man. But even if you don't do none of that shit, if you understand our true nature in itself, that's why I was saying, even when you look at Jesus as a man, but what is a man? So is he something that you're not? How are you looking at it? You know what I'm saying? Look at the niggas that are dancing, right? They always wanted to be like Mike. They were doing Mike shit until they find themselves. You know, when you look at a nigga like fucking Bruno Mars, I could tell Mike was his nigga. Come on, man. True, you know what I'm saying? A true player record. Yeah, man. It takes one to know one. Come on. You know, but he has to live Mike. He has to dance like Mike. Chris Brown, same. You can see that shit, man. These niggas ain't gotta tell you shit. And that's when Michael Jackson was telling you, yo, man, James Brown, that's my nigga. You know, that means he was doing James Brown. And as he was doing James Brown, he found Michael Jackson. And that's when he tell you, man, everything you see about me, man, that's that nigga. He was living that. Yo, Jesus means shit if you're not living it. In fact, nothing means shit if you're not living it. That's why this wisdom is for the living. In other words, you got to be active, baby. Well, that's what the fuck active is. What do you think living is? Is none active? Well, I got me fucked up. What the fuck is this? Fuck are we doing? Again, out of ignorance. So change and accepting what is. Now accepting what is, let's talk about that for a second. Because, you know what I'm saying, I could go, you know what I'm saying, I want to make sure maybe I don't need a part two. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, change, when you're looking at change, listen, man, it's a powerful thing, man. It has nothing to do with trying to settle in, you settling for shit. Nah, man. Think about it this way. If you tell me you gay, why would I not accept that? What the fuck that has to do with me? Acceptance comes from my security, nigga. What goes in that thing don't go in mine. In fact, I don't even feel it. Try me. Try me, nigga. Try me. Try me. Let me know how I'm feeling. Some shit that got nothing to do with me. Not just some dumb shit. All I'm saying is, because we love everybody here, what I'm saying is acceptance. There's nothing weak with accepting shit. In fact, because I'm confident in myself, because I'm balancing myself. Nigga, so what? All right, well, keep sucking that dick. That has to do with me, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll never hear a conversation from me of God doesn't want this, God doesn't want that. Like, not in that way. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Had nothing to do with me, dog. That shit got nothing to do with me, dog. So much so that's why I'm not even talking about that. I'm that secure. Have at it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Judge me as you wish. Because your judgment is gonna base out of you any fucking way. How would I be a spiritual master or a spiritual teacher, a healer, if I don't heal myself? I gotta be healed. Otherwise, that's when you say when you see the fake gurus, you gotta look at their emotions too. Jada Pinkett having a fucking come on, man. This bitch need a red fucking table to go to. She created that shit? Come on, man. That's blasphemy, man. You're making fun of people who need help. Those are those niggas. Not seriously. Real shit. She's making fun of retarded niggas. That's like people making that's what she's doing. She's jerking people, man. She's a jerk, bro. You're making fun of retarded people, man. This is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not that. How do you fake spirituality, bro? I don't know. My mind is different, man. How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? But when you live in it too, it's a whole different, like, just like they always say, and I tell people, and well, I gotta salute the great Vaina Velo, a spiritualist is a great human being. Look at the facts. We don't judge. I have compassion. I'm moved by the spirit. I'm accepting niggas. That's what acceptance is. Namaste, man. I don't put my accomplishment above you. I treat you based on your essence because I understand I'm you and you me. The only difference is a lot of niggas. It's just fucking ignorance, nigga. Niggas are not conscious out of fucking ignorance. Not your ego. Not none of that shit. It's out of fucking ignorance. That's why the people are perishing, dog. Because when you know, you know. And that's what we're saying. Even when you know you don't know, oh, you coming home, baby. And that was the beginning of my journey too. There was a point in my life when I'm like, yo, I'm not as bright as I think I was. That's when I was like, yo, are you stupid? And of course, it was a hard pill to swallow. I'm like, maybe you're a little slow, but not stupid. But then, as we're doing the work, I'm like, that's how I knew, even as a little nigga, I was that nigga. And what that means is, that's what we're saying. When you know, you don't know. That's because you know. Do you see what's taking place here? The level of consciousness? That's that consciousness that we're talking about. That's that aha moment. That's why academically you can't do it alone, bro. I'm not telling you not to read. I'm a great reader myself. But I'll be fooling you by giving you fucking just book recommendations. Nah, dog. In fact, I respect you too much. I respect you too much, man. But to make it fair, to be honest, every season has its own thing. That's why consciousness, when you're looking at, the conscious community is growing. Everything that happens, it survives somehow. Everything happens for a reason. There's a greater thing that's taking place here. Like for me, and I'll give you a perfect example. I needed the Bobby Hammonds. I needed the Brother Panics. I needed the Dr. Lila. Oh man, that's my dog. But anyway, we're not gonna go there, nigga. Relax. You know what I'm saying? The Dr. Valentines, all of these niggas, man, you know what I'm saying, that came in and they put the work, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, this is this is a community work. That's why I came out and talk about what I'm talking about here for somebody else to pick it up or somebody else to see what's needed to be said or understand what needed to be understood in this specific time. And for us to be conscious, for me to be conscious, I have to understand, and anybody who's really conscious is truly understanding the changes that's taking place in front of you. That's why you cannot do what was working, and let's say in the 1900s. How can that be the solution in 2023? It's a different reality, dog. Do you understand what I'm saying? Look at YouTube. Yo, YouTube is not even 100 years old, dog. Anything you need to learn. In fact, this shit is posting on fucking YouTube. So if you California, if you're living in fucking Haiti and you're fucking Caribbean, or if you're living in London, if you're living in fucking Africa, nigga, you can still get this work. And when you're ready, you'll find the video or the video will find you. Doesn't matter. But me understanding, that's why I'm working for the most high, for the betterment of all of us. This is an honor for me, nigga. And I'm living what I'm saying. Yo, listen, man. Coming from a dysfunctional family, coming from having a mother who's looking to kill me for my inheritance, a mother who's competing with you. Now, think about what type of education do you think I was getting? Come on now, nigga. This nigga game to me was poison. Oh, that's why you gotta listen, man. With poison. Nigga told me the way to grow in life, you have to compete. That's what my mother's teaching me. Competition, that's how you grow in life. So come on, man. And that's knowledge has two seeds, man. It could blind you, it can set you free. That's why for us, our ancestors, like I tell niggas, were the true mind controllers. We truly know how the mind works. Not, and that's why we have the occult. These niggas have a fucking. I want you to think about this for a second, because we talk about hieroglyphics. Symbol alone is deep. These niggas have a language of symbols. This is straight up dealing with the subconscious mind. These niggas are making direct connection, dog. Nigga, the metal, I don't think you understand. You're just looking at the picture. Listen, they're automatically talking to your higher self. That's what makes it a direct connection. The level of consciousness has already shown right then and there. They know how to touch your button. Oh, that's mind control, nigga. But that is to set you free, though, not to set you up as fucking slaves. You know what I'm saying? Forgive my French. Forgive my French. I'm saying good English, dog. So, nigga, I gotta represent. Represent, nigga. Represent, nigga. Represent, represent. You know what I'm saying? Represent, represent. I gotta represent, nigga. Then you understand. It's like, our there's more to our reality. That's why when the Kabbalion is talking about the law of rhythm, nothing changed. Everything is, like I don't know if this is 2023, but I know one thing for a fact. Like, well, if you have your cat comes out, he understands there's a flow around you. That's why we are. That's how we're able to have electricity, because we understand we're living in a fucking electromagnetic field. Is that air you're breathing? Is that air you're breathing, dog? That's the beauty of the fucking illusion. That's what he was saying. I'm trying to get you to free your mind. You're not saying there's no air. That's not what the nigga's saying at all. Free your mind, motherfucker. Nah, nigga. It's not asking you to not accept reality. It's telling you to go beyond reality. The action of stepping over the building is telling you to go beyond reality, not suppressing reality. Not to say this shit doesn't exist. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's a wrong way of looking at it, my friend. Or it's not real. Yeah, we know. Trust me, I know. But that's why we're using illusion. That's why the prestige. Listen, man, you gotta revisit it. That's oeuvre. That's a work of art. I don't think he has anything else. I don't think Christopher Nolan has anything else. As far as I've been seeing, that's greater than that. I have not seen it. I think that that's his best piece of art. I mean, especially if you grasp it, if you understand the message, the whole magician perspective. And guess what? That's what we use in the occult. And now in that movie, he's showing you it's not what you see. It's not what you see. No, what you see is what you see, nigga. But what you see is not what you think it is. That's what a trick is. Oh, you see it, but it's not what you think it is, nigga. It's not that you don't see it. No, you're gonna see it, nigga. That's what makes it a fucking illusion. That's why I always tell people, I get it, what you're trying to say when you say it's not real. I get it, but I don't think you understand it though. That's why when I talk to people, when not even talking to people, when you say fake or real, you're referring, or when you say anything is fake, or if you say it's not real, you're saying there's a fucking original one. There's no original Earth, nigga. Let me say that again. For this humanity to be fake, there has to be a true reality. There's no true reality, man. Or humanity. Sorry. There's no true humanity. So how can there be a fake? How can the humanity even look at as being fake when there's not even a real one? That's looking at it sideways. But if you want to stare at the shit, you're going through it. That's why, listen, man, for matter not to matter, you know what I'm saying? It got to matter. Yeah, nigga, doesn't matter because it matters, nigga. That's why it doesn't matter. Fuck. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter now, nigga. It matters. That's why it doesn't matter. That's why I tell them. I give a fuck. That's what I care about my fucks. That's why I don't give them away. Why would I do that? Oh, this is personal. This is a fucking internal affair shit. Well, why would I just give myself away like that? Nigga, you crazy. The fuck? No, just, you know what I'm saying? Just pull my pants down? What the fuck? Nah, man, I'm not easy, baby. Mm-mm. Oh, you gonna work for this, nigga. Oh, you gonna put the work in. The fuck? It's theatrics. Theatrics. That's what the movie's talking about, niggas. I think that's one of yo. I will take the time, but that's a 2 hour shit. I enjoy it, and I always go to trance too. I always, you know what I'm saying, get in my zone every time I'm watching it too. That's a piece of art, man. That's a true piece of art. Right then and there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, going back to see, the first thing I wanted to do was this mental, or maybe to address, not this mental, to address the connotation of change, right? Because now having a bad perception of change, because now, but see, the thing about accepting, it has a lot to do with with understanding change too. Ironically, it's all connected. That's what makes it two sides of the same coin. There's a connection. You see, again, so I was talking about the gay stuff. Like, of course, man. Why would I not accept that? That's no sign of weakness here. I'm not settling. What am I settling? What the fuck? What am I settling for? What the fuck am I settling for, dog? Nothing. So the misconception, unfortunately, of acceptance, it's always like you're not pushing, you're not doing too much. Again, going back to the lazy shit that I was talking about, or you're being too comfortable because we're saying it's not comfortable, but now the whole thing is, and the Kabbalion talks about this when we talk about opposite meats. That's the life that we're living in. A good thing, it could be a bad thing, and a bad thing could be a good thing. Your discernment of what is good and bad, that's what makes a world of difference. That's the quality. That's the consciousness. That's what changes reality. That's how you transmute reality. That's the name of the game. That's what allows you to see beyond the fucking illusion. That's what we say. It's not how much you see, baby. Because you can see a whole lot, but how you looking at it. So the spiritual eyes is to see beyond the smoke, nigga. Are you falling for the smoke? And to be awakened, come on. Like, how do you put me to sleep when I wake up? Like, I'm up, nigga. Like, what are you doing? You know, a couple of folks had to find out. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Ah. Mm. Be careful out here, Stranger. Careful, Stranger. Be careful. But anyway, going back to, again, I'm showing you, I guess the connotation of acceptance. It could be viewed as being lazy, you're not picking up, or you're being too comfortable, or that's what lazy is in so many words. But you're not going beyond what you see, or you're not fighting for something, or you're settling for less. It's a sign of weakness. Whereas that's not the case at all. Like I was using that example when it comes to gay people, and they outsecure. Like there's nothing. Why would I not accept that? Why would I not accept it? And it came out of my power. It came from me having the ability to choose, to know who I am, to make my choices. But nigga, what you eat don't make me shit, nigga. It's just another day at the office. What's up, nigga? What the fuck you doing, nigga? You good? That's my fucking approach. Nigga, you good? Now, nigga, we smoking, we drinking, what we doing? Then when it's something else for you, all right, nigga, okay, that's what you do. Don't put me in your shit, because I'm not putting you in my shit. That's all it is, baby. But it comes out of me respecting myself, though. That's the self love. That's the self acceptance, first and foremost. So there's nothing weak about accepting anything. But I get it due to bad connotation. But in fact, accepting is confidence. Do you notice every other religion except Christians? Only Christians do not accept anything else. This shit is crazy. because it's created out of fear. It's nothing that they are experiencing. You know why I have compassion for people? Because I have experienced. Like when they say, when you go through some shit, I understand you, bro. I've been there, baby. I'm saying, get yourself up, nigga. Keep going. Fuck you talking about? Don't make me get on you, nigga. Don't make me get on you. That's what I'll tell you. And that's not because now, nigga, because I know. Keep going, handsome. Come on, man. Keep going. What are we doing? Come on, man. And that's the beauty of life too. You never know how the shit is. You just go with the flow, nigga. You got to adjust yourself. If you're a seller, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. That's when you following self. That's why we're living dangerously over here, nigga. Nigga, I'm dangerous, nigga. I'm living dangerously. Or I go with the flow and I trust her. And of course, we had our little hard-headed moments. It happens. Listen, man, it got me here. See, that's why I always tell people when you take accountability, which is good, but just know it's a beginning stage. You want to get to a point where there's no accountability and you're not refuting anything. You just understand that's what you're doing now. You're changing the narrative because it comes with growth. That's how you're talking like a man now. You're barking out here. That's how you're talking like a man. So now you understand, hey, guess what? I needed to go there to get here. Come on, man. How can you not acknowledge that? I'm here, right? So I had to go there. That's how you embrace your path. You forgive yourself. You transcend your sin. That's how you wash your transgression in the blood of Christ, in that understanding, in that energy. Because to eat the body of Christ, it means, is to have that consciousness. But that consciousness has to affect you. If not, it's not a consciousness. That's why when you're conscious, it's different. That's the name of the game. The magic is you. That's why you can do magic, nigga. That's why when we put recipes together, you're doing a spell, whatever the fuck you're doing. That's why niggas don't even understand magic. It's not because it's not real, nigga. Nah, nigga, because it is a fucking illusion. But most importantly, you're dealing with energy. Well, that's why you say cinnamon does this. That's why I'm doing something for money. I'ma add cinnamon. What you dealing with, nigga? Energy. So our ancestors, that's why when we use nature, we know what works for what. What does. That's how we understand our connection to nature. Nigga, listen. I mean, that's a whole different level. So when you see these niggas worshiping nature, these niggas were fully loaded. They were being the best of who they were. That's where these niggas were living 300, 500 years, nigga. They were the best. They were at their best. You know what I'm saying? Being at your best, nigga. These niggas were truly living. That's why they have their statue. Oh, that's some God shit. It takes one to know one. Those are my ancestors. That's my blood. I know what I'm talking about, man. That's why they have their statues. They created a whole world, but that not a world that's they materialize the divine. That's why I went to a fucking trance, and even today I'm still looking for that fucking documentary. And that's how I knew I was there too. In their whole architect. I went through a fucking trance, nigga. There was a fucking documentary I was watching, and then I went through the trance, and that shit ended. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Looking for the name, I couldn't find it. But the lesson stayed with me, and the experience stayed with me. So those statues that these niggas had, listen, they were manifesting. That's why I tell niggas, get your statue, nigga. You're creating a whole fucking world around you. People always say, and that's what they don't understand. And I'm glad. See, I went to college to become a fucking accountant. I'm glad I went that way. Come on, man. It's all spiritual. What do you think accounting does? Of course, I'm gonna have my esoteric shit because that's what I do. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. People always tell you there's a magic when you write something down, but they can never express what the fuck that shit is. See, when you write some shit down, this is you bringing that shit to life. Now, this is the esoteric meaning. So when you have a statue, if it's dormant, it's not alive. When you have your statue, you interacting with it. You activated that archetypes into your motherfucking life. And all these gods, I had to have so many of those gods around them. That's why these niggas energetic field. That's what makes a master a master. I can't give it away, but but I'm giving it away. Get your statue, nigga. That's your army. That's your energetic field. You bringing that shit from the darkness into the light or into this world, meaning you breathing life into it. That's what your statue is. When you see a Michael Jordan statue, nigga, in Chicago, what does that tell you? Legend. This is more than a man, nigga. In other words, this is more than flesh and bones. And guess what you are? Who do you think you are, nigga? Nigga, you tell me, who the fuck do you think you are? That's on you. Come on, man. See, that's why I refuse to look at down on myself. You said I'm the one that God loves. Is that what you said? With all my fucking, you know what I'm saying? This nigga love me. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that love, nigga. And if I'm enjoying that love, I'm too busy to look down on myself. It wouldn't be godlike to look down on myself when I'm enjoying God's love, nigga. There's nothing godly about that. Therefore, you're not even experiencing His love. I don't know what type of reality you're living. That's a trash life. That's a trashy life. You're not even living. You talking about the life, though. You talk a good talk. You talking about the life. You sound good saying it. Being politically correct. I'm trash. God love me. Like, God damn, nigga. So this nigga love trash. He's a trashy nigga. Obviously. You have niggas that love hoes, bro. So what the fuck you telling me about him? I don't know. You obviously you created your reality. It's not gonna be mine. Because there's gotta be something in me that nigga loves me. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Or maybe if I don't know, well, are you willing to find out? If you want to find out, nigga, I got you. And listen, he's right. Because when you do that work, then you realize you him and he's you. Well, that's the communion. That's the interaction. That's the yoga. Well, that's you knowing who you are. But as you knowing who you are, you're going beyond. This is you acknowledging flesh and bones and more. So accepting change is not weak at all. But now going back to put all of that together, does it come together? Opposite meets. That's why this shit is not logical. And you cannot go about it logically neither. And if you are, nigga, you better snap out of it. That's when the feminine energy comes in. That's the union between the intellect and your intuition. That's when your logic now becomes greater. So you have to understand, in fact, oh shit. You have to understand, as part of you changing, that's you knowing your true nature. That's transformation. When you accept what is, that's you being in control of yourself. That's why the power of acceptance is crazy. Like just like I was saying, all other religion except Christianity. You don't say Buddhist saying fuck Krishna or what was the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita is evil. You don't hear none of this shit said. What they say, they talk about different systems. This is how this different from that. Already, that's a broader perspective. But Christianity, which is the youngest one there, or you could say oldest one, depending on how you look at it. But if you're gonna say oldest one, then you would have to understand the Gnostics, but you also have to understand the Nicene Gnostic. Then you would also have to understand Horus of fucking Osiris. So it could be the first one, but based on your level of fucking understanding. In fact, I'll go so far to say that's the only one, but not the way you're looking at it, though. It's the only one because all other religion talks about the same thing. Buddha, Jesus, similar story. All these things, all these kids, what I'm saying, like they were privileged. There's something greater, but at the end of the day, they have to learn, they have to change themselves. Well, that's your story, Buddha. That's your story, Jesus. I'm talking to you, Jesus. It's your story. This is you changing. And that's why you'll see, as when we talk about black sheep, well, this is you are the Jesus of your family. Like I am the Jesus of my family, the enlightened one, the anointed one, the bright one. And that's what some people are calling when you're how do they say that? You're changing there's a way they say it, your poverty or some shit line, or you something curse. And there's this lady, unfortunately I gotta give her credit, but I can never remember her name, and it's a beautiful sister too. And she was saying some shit about gen- generational curse, and she was saying there's no such thing. You want to say a generational pattern, because what she was doing is she peeled it, she took it out. She's making it simple for you. Because the term curse, you may look at it, if you don't truly understand, you may look at it as something that God did, or there's something malice behind it, as villain. There's something like, all she's saying is, it's already, by you looking at it from a fucking generational, let's just say, pattern, it's already accessible to you. And that's what we're all doing. We are all either making or changing or continuing or our generation or DNA, whatever the fuck it is. Like I'm here. That's why I understand my fucking assignment. I'm here to make noises, baby. Come on, my life in itself is a noise, and and you gonna find out. That's nothing little about me, nigga. Everything about me is royalty. It's complicated. Yeah, I got my gloves in my hand, nigga. It's complicated. I'm conceited, nigga. Found my beauty, man. Find yours, nigga. You see old Shun holding that mirror. Bitches don't fucking get it. They say she's conceited. You don't get it. You gotta know beauty to find beauty. Ugly bitches don't have mirror. Cause I went to high school. Well, I was born in Haiti, but I went to high school in Jersey, naked. Pretty bitches, they were the one who has the mirror. Because they knew they were pretty. They gotta look a certain way. Ugly bitches didn't do that shit. That's why we tell you, what I'm saying? Beauty creates more beauty. That's what that ocean was telling you, nigga. You gotta know beauty to find beauty, and known beauty will create more beauty. When you look at what you're saying in the hood, that's why it looks like trash. When you go in a different city, the higher the echelon or whatever the fuck, the architecture is different. That's why rich people, these niggas buy painting. You think it's painting that these niggas are buying? Nah, they're buying beauty, dog. That's why this shit worth millions and millions of fucking dollars. Who was the last one who had this painting? Whatever the fuck. That's what these niggas are talking about. Nigga, I'll go to Home Goods. So I understand the baseline. Now, this is what we're saying. You ain't got to be like this. Because, listen, I'm royal. I'm royal blood. Meaning I know the definition of what they're doing. They ain't fooling me. You know what I'm saying? I go to Home Goods, baby. You know what I'm saying? If you see the movie Jupiter Ascending, whatever the fuck, she was cleaning the bathroom. When she came back, she was doing a better job at the bathroom, nigga. Shit. Well, that's me right there, nigga. Go to Home Goods, baby. You know what I'm saying? You doesn't there's such a thing as feng shui. You know what that is? That's creating energy around you. That's the fucking Egyptian having everything that they had. That was fucking feng shui, nigga. Now, feng shui, to be honest, it's mostly dealing with, I just gave you the baseline, but it's dealing with how you position a certain shit into your house. I just don't want you to get lost, nigga. Relax. I gave you the baseline definition. But of course, if you're learning about feng shui, it's certain position in the house. What you're doing in that certain position of the house, you're bringing certain energy into your house. Oh, you see what I'm saying now? I have to slow you down to speed you up. So that's already feng shui you doing. That's what these niggas, they had the motherfucking fence and all that shit around this fucking palace. These niggas, the house, the way the architect and all that shit. Nigga, these niggas were living their best life. They were their best self. That's why they had the best wisdom, nigga. That's why for me, I don't subscribe to whatever. Niggas, they say what they say. I learn from it. Niggas are talking about Anunnakis. They talking about alien. May well be. I don't know. But when we're looking at the fucking Dogon, these niggas are telling you what's taking place in the fucking solar system. And material science went and test what these niggas are saying, and these niggas are right. Now you riddle that shit to me, nigga. Now that's their connection. That's what I feel. So, but anyway, my understanding, you know how niggas be telling you Kemet, the great civilization, and then it dies. Nigga, that's what I believe in. Yes, it dies. And guess what? It's coming back again. I believe in cycles. I see cycles around me. First of all, it's not even a matter of believing. That's what I see around me. That's why if a nigga you want to talk about 2023, maybe. But you only saying 2023 based on what? A calendar and based on Bluetooth inventions. But true time, you talking, well, I shouldn't say true time because then I would have to say true time. Okay. So true time and then there's true time. That's when you transcend that. But true time in terms of the cycle, I see cycle around me. I could bet you money. I don't know if this is 2023 because think about it. If you know about the calendar, that's why they had before Christ and then after Christ. So you didn't know if that was really time. This nigga changed this shit. That's why they always tell you time is a fucking illusion. Or maybe time as they see it is a fucking illusion. But now, what I do know for a fact is cycle. Well, there was summer last summer, and then I had summer again. And guess what? There was fall last fall. And guess what's coming in now? That I know for a fact. Well, I mean, there's level of facts too, but let's not make it a fact thing. Let me take it back. So we're truly talking about level of consciousness. But then as you're looking at the season, that's the word I was looking for. I believe in season. Just like right now, we say when you look at time, you're looking at what took place. We have certain ages, and I'm not trying to base that on civilization. That would be a mistake. That would be the misunderstanding of time. And that's what they're using to make you feel like there's some sort of evolution that's taking place. And that's not the case. Don't fall for the okey doke. So what I'm saying by this is a little bit profound now. What I'm saying about, let's just say, things that you can relate to, because what they're calling evolution is niggas that used to use, let's just say, wigs. They don't use that no more. That's what you call evolution. It's not necessarily, when we're talking about evolution, we got to talk about the actual state of mind, the collective consciousness. That's the key. But anyway, make a long story short, I don't know if I even should make it short. Opposite do meet, but you can only experience it when you can only know it when you experience it. Like for me, I'll give you a perfect example. It's like I changed, but then I realized that I didn't change. So it's almost like I became a better version of me. I'm aware that I'm not the same me that I was, but yet I'm another version of me. That's what recreating yourself is. As you're becoming more conscious, you are recreating yourself, but which is still yourself. So the opposite comes together. So it's like the more I changed, the more I didn't change because all I did was became a better me. But yet I did also change. How can I say that? How else can I put this shit together? I don't know how else to say it. That I live it. That's the relationship between the father and the son. That's the relationship between me understanding I am the son and then the father, meaning I embrace my individuality as the son, and then I understand I'm in the father and the father's in me. Squash that. Another way of saying that, shit, a seed. A seed is the whole tree. But yeah, it's like the seed become the tree. Everything that the tree became is everything that was in the seed. But yet, the seed is not the tree, and the tree is not the seed, and the seed is this tree. Anyway, philosophy. Philosophize. But the bottom line is, not really. Opposite meets. Only when you're living this life, then you would understand it. So we're gonna leave that there. Aisha, Malik.